Happy New Year, friends! I have a pretty good feeling about 2026 that it's going to be a good one, a fulfilling one. But raise your hand if the new year already is feeling exactly like last year, just with a slightly different font. Same responsibilities, same stress, same tired, just it's January. If you're already feeling behind and the year barely even started, I mean, we're really only 2 days in. I see you. So let's take a breath together before we jump in. Welcome back to the Balanced Recruiter, a slightly unhinged, definitely honest, and occasionally helpful space where we talk about burnout, balance, identity shifts, and why your to-do list still has 19 things on it, even though you've been working all day. In theory. Hi, I'm Chastity, recovering recruiter, newly appointed beauty advisor with a deep love for skincare and hair care. I'm a puppy mom and professional plate spinner. I did swap roles, but not chaos levels. And honestly, I'm still just trying to find balance somewhere between burnout and self-care. And if I'm being honest, I'm still resisting the urge to book a runaway trip to Switzerland. You know, quiet mountains, clean fresh air, efficient trains, and the belief that all my problems would magically resolve if I walked slowly near a lake with good chocolat. Not to escape my life, but just to dramatically recalibrate. So yes, there's been a shift. I'm no longer in recruiting or HR. I've stepped into a role centered around beauty, care, and connection, helping people feel good in their own skin. And I want to be really clear about this. The Balanced Recruiter was never about the job. It was always about being human in a working world that doesn't slow down. Burnout doesn't care what industry you're in. Stress doesn't clock out when you change roles. And balance, that's something we're all still trying to figure out, no matter where we show up. So, changing roles isn't just logistical, it's emotional. You grieve old versions of yourself. You question your experience. You wonder if you're starting over. You feel unqualified even when you're not. Burnout doesn't disappear, it just changes shape. And as I was scrolling through LinkedIn this morning, somebody had posted this Japanese legend, and it really stopped me. It says, if you feel like you're losing everything, remember, trees lose their leaves every year. Yet they still stand and wait for better days to come. That hit me hard. Losing leaves doesn't mean the tree failed. It means it's part of the cycle. What a great reminder. We don't talk enough about how much burnout comes from fighting seasons that were meant to change, from thinking we're falling apart when we're actually just shedding what can't come with us. I think that's why I felt this really strong urge lately, not to reinvent myself, not to rush into something new, but to realign. That's my word for this year, realign. Not restart, not overhaul, just realign. To pause and ask, does this still fit? Does this still feel true? Does this still support the life I want to live? Realigning doesn't mean you were wrong before. It just means you're listening now. And I'm curious, what's your word for the year? Or maybe you don't have one yet, and that's totally okay too. I don't pick a word because it sounds inspiring. I pick it because it reflects what I need. A word isn't a goal, it's a lens. something you come back to when things start feeling noisy, heavy, or misaligned. Burnout happens when we stay misaligned for too long. Balance begins when we give ourselves permission to realign slowly, honestly, and without guilt. This shift that I've had with my career has taught me a few things quickly. That burnout follows patterns, not professions. Boundaries matter everywhere. Identity tied to a job is fragile. Starting fresh doesn't mean I'm starting from zero. And you're allowed to evolve, even when it's uncomfortable. I didn't outgrow this podcast. In fact, I feel I grew into it. So, what's going to stay the same? We're still going to definitely talk about burnout, boundaries, messy moments, work life identity. I'd like to still have some humor and honesty. But what are we going to do to expand? Self care as real work, emotional labor, confidence and self image, customer facing burnout, navigating change publicly, and redefining success. Same human, wider lens. And I'm so excited. Before we wrap, ask yourself, what am I carrying into this year that I need to put down? And what do I want to bring with me? No pressure to answer perfectly. Just notice. And if you don't have a word for the year, don't overthink it. I mean, realign is a great word, so feel free to use that. But dig deep. Think about what resonates with you deeply and how it makes you feel. That's the word for you. Thanks for hanging out with me today on The Balance Recruiter. If today's version of balance means sitting in your car with your Starbucks, reapplying lip gloss, and mentally planning a Swiss escape you're not actually booking, I totally get it. New episodes drop every Friday, just in time for the weekend. Be sure to follow, share, and drop a rating if you can. I'd love to see this community grow and help one another out. And hey, it's like therapy with no copay. Remember, burnout is real, balance is the goal, and I'm still somewhere in between. Same human, new season. See you on the next episode.